Listen to Mohammad Bahareth describe his early life, and you hear a familiar, difficult story. Diagnosed with severe dyslexia, what educators often labeled word blindness, he was told as a child that writing was entirely out of his reach. Traditional medical and educational systems frequently treat conditions like dyslexia and ADHD as permanent roadblocks. They are viewed as deficits to be managed, obstacles that hinder standard, linear learning. Imagine looking at a page where letters refuse to stay still, where processing a simple sentence requires the same effort as deciphering a complex code, all within a classroom environment designed for a different type of cognitive processing. This creates a practical barrier. If a person struggles to process language sequentially, how do they pursue a career that relies on putting words in a row? Bahareth took a different path. Today, the boy who struggled to read has authored over 50 books, and his work is published in 19 different countries. His bibliography covers an expansive range of subjects. This cover is from one of his geopolitical works, analyzing foreign policy during the Trump administration. His other titles include deep dives into space economics, the official Arabic translation of the Sherlock Holmes trilogy, and complex sci-fi novels. How did someone with a severe learning diagnosis use that specific cognitive profile to build a structured international literary career? The answer lies in Bahareth's method of processing information. He describes seeing the world as a set of interconnected systems rather than a linear progression of events. By bypassing the sequential processing of individual words, Bahareth focuses on the structural relationships between ideas. This perspective allows him to identify the patterns and leverage points that govern how complex systems operate. Reading a single paragraph might require deliberate effort, but he processes multivariable systems like the economics of Mars colonization or the hidden dynamics in a business negotiation at a high speed. Bahareth directs his ADHD-driven hyperfocus towards conceptualizing multi-book narratives, holding complex geopolitical structures in his mind for extended periods to ensure every detail connects. This neurological profile functions as the engine for his creative output, providing a specific cognitive framework for his writing. This systems-based thinking is visible within the fictional universes he constructs. This page from his novel, Paws of Destiny, shows the scale of that imagination. The text describes Whisker, a character in a society of genetically evolved cats that shape human history and form alliances across different galaxies. He followed that with Octoplanet, another project that uses a sci-fi setting to examine questions of identity and perception. Generating sprawling ideas about space cats and foreign policy is one stage of the process. Finishing 50 books requires a different level of rigor. It requires an engineering-like structure to turn a dream into a physical product. He applies a framework called the Bahareth method. This document outlines how he approaches goals with engineering precision, establishing pillars like intention and integrity. The third pillar, alignment, captures divergent ideas, forcing creative fragments into a single, cohesive system focused on a finished project. His high volume of work is the result of using unyielding systems to capture and harvest divergent thoughts. These published works serve as physical evidence of his methodology. They demonstrate that a neurodivergent mind can execute at an elite level when supported by a clear system. Bahareth's author biography details how he translates this success into broader advocacy. His work includes driving commercial space initiatives and founding a national-level dyslexia awareness charity that has influenced government policy. He operates under a life theme he calls the experience of uniqueness, a philosophy that champions celebrating cognitive differences. Many potential innovators are currently defined by the same labels he was given. Bahareth's creative legacy suggests that the traits often labeled as deficits can provide the specific cognitive tools needed for high-impact work.